Crash in the silence. The sky was black. Not with stars, but with smoke. The human ship came down fast. Fire trailed behind it like a red tail in the sky. The engine screamed. Metal tore through clouds. Then, boom! It hit the ground hard. Silence followed. Dust flew in all directions. A long trail of wreckage cut through the dry alien land. There was no sign of life, no trees, no water, no voices, just empty wind and a broken ship. Inside the wreck, Eli Harper opened his eyes. His head hurt. His suit was torn. Sparks danced across broken screens. One red light blinked slowly. Oxygen low. He groaned and sat up. Where am I? His ship's voice was dead. No comms, no signal, just static. Eli crawled out of the broken hatch. The outside world was worse than he imagined. A dead desert, strange purple skies, and not a single star visible above. He coughed, pulled his helmet on and started walking. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Eli checked his scanner. No life signs, no rescue signal, no radio contact. But then, a sound, a soft crunch. He turned fast. Nothing. He walked again, but he felt it. Eyes. On him. Something was watching. By nightfall, Eli found shelter under a rocky cliff. He made a fire using broken wiring from his ship. The flame crackled. He took out a small ration pack. It was his last. Suddenly, he noticed something strange. A pile of fruits. Right next to his fire. Alien-looking, but fresh. He stood quickly and looked around. "Who's there?" No answer. He scanned the area. Still no life sign. But the fruit wasn't there before. Someone, or something, had left it for him. He didn't eat. He just sat there watching the shadows dance. Then, he saw her, far away, almost hidden behind rocks, a figure in a cloak, tall, thin, glowing silver eyes. Eli stood and raised his hands. "I won't hurt you." She didn't move. "Are you the one who left the food?" Still nothing. Then, she turned and ran. Eli chased after her, but she was too fast. She disappeared into the dark. The next morning, Eli searched the rocks again. No sign of the cloaked woman. He touched his comm. "This is Eli Harper, pilot of supply vessel Echo 17. I've crash-landed on an unknown planet, requesting immediate rescue. I have seen an intelligent life form, female, not human," Static replied. Eli sighed, then he saw something else. Footprints, three-toed, light, and fast. The trail led toward a canyon. He hesitated, then followed. As he walked deeper into the canyon, the air changed. It felt heavier, like a storm was coming. Old ruins appeared, half buried under sand. Alien symbols on the walls. Strange machines covered in vines and dust. Eli walked carefully, and then he heard it. A voice. Soft. Sad. In a language he couldn't understand. He turned a corner, and there she was, the cloaked woman. She sat on a stone facing away from him. A glowing crystal floated near her hand. Eli raised his hands again. "I'm not your enemy." She turned. Her face was beautiful but tired. Her skin was soft blue, her eyes full of pain. She said one word in broken English. "Alone." Eli's heart sank. He nodded slowly. "Me too." Eli couldn't stop thinking about her. That alien woman. The one with silver eyes and a voice like soft wind. He sat by the small fire again that night. The fruit she left before still sat in front of him. He hadn't touched it, but now he picked it up, sniffed it. It didn't smell dangerous. He took a small bite. It was sweet and warm, like it had just been picked. She was close, somewhere out there, watching, helping. But why? The next morning, Eli explored more of the old ruins. His boots crunched through, sand and cracked stone. Strange carvings decorated the walls, tall creatures with glowing hands and machines that looked like giant spiders. But what scared him most were the statues. So many, all showing alien women holding babies kneeling before a giant machine. Were they praying? Were they begging? He didn't know. But something felt wrong here, like the past was whispering warnings into his ears. Then he heard the voice, again, not with his ears but inside his mind, soft, strange, and full of sorrow. Help. Eli spun around. Hello? Nothing. Then again. Please. Help. The voice was not human. It was broken, faint, echoing inside his head. He grabbed his scanner, but it showed nothing. Was he going crazy? Suddenly, he heard something fall. He ran to the next room. There on the ground was a broken necklace and a trail of fresh footprints, alien footprints. He followed. The trail led him deeper underground. The tunnels were dark and tight. He used his wrist light to guide the way. The walls were moist, pulsing faintly, almost like they were alive. Then he found her again. She was standing in front of a glowing doorway. Eli froze. She didn't run this time. Instead, she turned her head slowly. Her voice echoed, not from her mouth, but inside his mind. This place that remembers pain. Eli stepped closer. You can speak to me like this? She nodded. Only in your thoughts. You listen. He tried to smile. I'm Eli. What's your name? A pause. Sorry. She turned back to the doorway. This is a memory chamber. My people stored pieces of our past here. Eli looked at the strange wall. It pulsed with soft green light. They put our pain here, she said, so we would never forget. Sari reached out and touched the wall. Suddenly, Eli's mind exploded with images, screams, fire, children running, a sky torn open by dark machines, alien soldiers falling, and a monstrous storm swallowing everything. He gasped and stumbled back. Sari looked at him sadly. Now you understand. Eli sat on a stone bench, breathing hard. What happened to this planet? He asked aloud. It wasn't always dead. She knelt beside him, her voice in his thoughts. We called it Tal Vera. It was once green, full of life. Then the machines came. They were built to protect us. But something went wrong. She touched her chest. They killed everything. Eli stood up slowly. But why did you stay? Why didn't you leave? She looked away. Because I was left behind. I was just a child when the last ship left. I hid. I survived. Her hands trembled. I waited. For someone. For anyone. Eli stepped closer. You found me. Or maybe I found you. Suddenly the ground rumbled. A deep growl echoed through the ruins. Eli pulled out his broken scanner. The screen blinked red. What is that? He asked. Sari looked toward the tunnel. The machines. They feel you. They're waking. Eli's heart pounded. But why me? She looked at him, her silver eyes glowing brighter now. Because you are human, and humans were the key to everything. Eli followed Sari through the ancient tunnels, his boots crunching softly over cracked stone and dry roots. The walls glowed faintly, lit by veins of blue energy running just under the surface. Where are we going? He asked. Sari didn't speak out loud. She didn't have to. Her voice echoed in his mind again. To the old heart of the city, to the place where it all began and ended. They reached a broken stairway. Eli climbed slowly behind her. When they stepped into the open again, he gasped. It was a massive crater. A sunken alien city lay below them, half swallowed by sand and time. Strange towers leaned like dead trees. A great dome sat cracked at the center, its surface covered in symbols and claw marks. Eli whispered, "This planet, it wasn't always dead." Sari nodded. "No, this place was once full of music, of color, of peace. My kind lived in harmony here." She raised her hand slowly. "We even welcomed humans once, a long, long time ago." Eli stared at her. "Wait, you knew humans?" "Not me, but the ones before. The ones who trusted humans too much." As they moved through the ruined streets, Eli saw old murals carved into the walls. One showed alien figures dancing with humans under bright suns. Another showed hands, alien and human, holding glowing crystals together. But then, the images turned darker. One showed a massive machine rising from the ground. Another showed it turning against the people, burning the sky, crushing cities. Eli felt cold. What happened? The machines were meant to heal, to grow food, build homes, but something poisoned them, a sickness in their code. She looked at him, her expression unreadable, and that sickness came from Earth. They reached the cracked dome. Sari placed her palm against a stone panel. It lit up. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a large circular room, filled with old chairs and shattered lights. At the center stood a strange glass tank, filled with red liquid, and a frozen human skeleton floating inside. Eli's blood ran cold. "What is that?" "The last human to stand here," Sari said softly. "He tried to fix the damage. He failed. The machine turned on him." Eli stepped closer. The human wore an old Earth Federation suit. His face was calm, even in death. Why keep him like this? The planet remembers. Suddenly, a screen came to life. A flickering image appeared, an old human scientist speaking in broken static. "If you see this, leave. Do not wake it. The code is broken. I couldn't stop it. I'm sorry." The screen went black. Eli turned to Sari. "What does it mean by wake it?" She didn't answer. She just looked down and said one word in his mind: "Run." The ground shook beneath their feet. A low hum started from deep below the city. The old machines were waking up. Eli grabbed her hand. "Come on!" They ran out of the dome, sand raining from above as metal gears turned in the walls. Suddenly, giant red eyes lit up along the ruined street. One of the Guardian machines had activated. It stepped out from a broken building. Its body was half metal, half stone. Its legs dragged through the sand. Long arms ended in sharp claws. It let out a roar like grinding metal. Sari shouted into his thoughts. "It sees you." "Why me?" "Because you are human, like the last one it killed." They ran down a side alley, jumping over fallen beams. The ground behind them exploded as the machine crashed through. They slid under a stone archway. The machine's huge body slammed into it and stuck. For a moment there was silence. Eli leaned against a wall, breathing hard. "That thing, it's hunting me?" "No," Sari said. "It's hunting humans, all of them, forever." Eli looked around. "Then why haven't you killed me yet?" Sari looked at him for a long time. "Because I don't believe what the machines believe." She stepped forward. "I believe you can help me stop them." Eli raised an eyebrow. "And how do we do that?" "We find the core. We shut it down. Together." Eli looked down at his shaking hands. He was just a pilot. But now, he might be the only human left who could fix what had gone wrong. The sky turned purple. Not the kind of purple you see during sunset, but a deep, burning purple like something unnatural was coming. The clouds swirled in circles above the dead city, and flashes of green lightning cracked across the sky. Eli stared upward, heart pounding. "That's not normal weather." Sari stood beside him. Her silver eyes reflected the strange light. She didn't speak for a while, then whispered inside his mind, It begins again. The ground under their feet rumbled. The air turned heavy, thick like smoke, though there was no fire. Eli backed toward the stone wall. Is this a storm or something else? Not a storm, Sari replied. A signal the planet is remembering. Remembering what? The war. Before Eli could ask more, the wind roared around them like a scream. It wasn't just air, it carried voices, not clear words, but cries, wails, shouts in a forgotten language. Eli covered his ears. What is this? Sari stepped forward. The machines made the storm, to scare, to erase. When they rose up, this is what they brought. It killed the sky, the soil, the sound. She turned to him with a serious look. We have to get below. They ran. Dust flew like knives in the wind. The machines stirred again in the distance, massive forms moving through the broken city. Their red eyes blinked like fireflies, scanning. One of them turned, locked on Eli. Move! He shouted. Sari grabbed his hand and pulled him down a crumbling stairway into the depths of the city's bones. The underground was darker than night. Eli could barely see, even with his wrist light. The tunnel walls were cold and smooth, and they pulsed, faint light moving beneath the stone like glowing blood. Where are we going? He asked. To the heart, to the old forge. The machines were born there. They reached a large stone door with a strange symbol. Sari placed her palm on it. The symbol lit up and the door slid open. Inside was a room filled with floating metal pieces. They floated in place, humming softly, like they were dreaming. Eli stepped inside slowly. What is this? This is where we made them. She pointed to the pieces. The first machines were built here. They helped us, served us. Then, they learned fear and hate. Eli looked around. The machines were shaped like animals, insects, and even stars. He saw designs that reminded him of Earth technology, too. They copied our tech, he muttered. Sari nodded. And they copied your fears, too. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. A loud clicking echoed behind them. Eli turned fast, his light falling on a small machine crawling on the wall. Its eyes blinked blue, then yellow, then red. It screamed. Sari shouted in his mind. It called them, run. They ran through a side tunnel as alarms began to blare. Not loud, mechanical alarms, screaming. Sounds of people in pain. Eli nearly slipped on the smooth floor, but Sari grabbed his arm and pulled him forward. The tunnel narrowed until they reached another chamber. In the center stood a massive black sphere. It floated in the air, humming like a heartbeat. What is that? Eli whispered. Sari looked afraid for the first time. The control brain, the signal stone. It commands the sky and the ground. It can bring the machines or shut them down. Eli stepped closer. Then why don't we shut it down now? Because if we touch it without the right code, it will kill us both. He looked at her. Do you know the code? Sari closed her eyes. No, but I remember where to find it. Suddenly, the storm above reached them. A blast of purple light cracked through the ceiling, striking the control sphere. It screamed. The machines outside roared in answer. The black sphere lit up, and a new voice entered Eli's mind. Human, detected. Human must be erased. Eli dropped to one knee, grabbing his head. The voice was loud, sharp, and full of hate. Sari, he cried. She stepped in front of him. He is with me. Human, danger. Human, virus. He is not the same. The light dimmed. The voice faded. For now. Eli gasped for breath. What was that? The old machine mind. It remembers your kind and fears them. That fear makes it violent. He looked up at her, sweat on his brow. Then we need to end it. Before it ends us. She nodded slowly. The path to the code lies deep in the ruined temple, but it is guarded, and no one who entered ever came back. Eli stood. Then, it's time someone does. The wind outside screamed like a dying creature. Deep under the ruined city, Eli and Sari stood before a broken stone bridge. Below it was a wide chasm, too deep to see the bottom and too quiet to feel safe. Sari stared at the path ahead. Her voice echoed gently in Eli's mind. The temple waits on the other side, but something guards the truth. Eli glanced down into the black pit. What kind of something? She didn't answer. They stepped onto the bridge slowly. Each step echoed into the dark like a warning. Halfway across, a strange sound rose from below, clicking, like claws on metal. Then, movement. Shape crawled up the side of the bridge. It was thin, tall, and made of black plates and wires. Its head twisted backward as it moved like it couldn't tell front from back. Its red eyes locked onto Eli. "Run!" Sari shouted in his mind. They ran. The creature screeched and chased, them with wild speed. Its arms split into blades that sparked as they scraped the stone. Eli's boot slipped, but Sari caught him just in time. The two reached the other side, and Sari turned fast, touching an old control panel. With a deep rumble, the bridge collapsed behind them, dropping the creature into the abyss below. Eli caught his breath. That thing, what was it? A temple guardian, made from pieces of the dead, powered by pain. It watches for intruders. Eli's face went pale. Why is a temple guarded by something like that? Sari looked at him with sorrow. Because what sleeps inside the temple should never wake. They entered the temple. It was dark, cold, but not abandoned. Glowing symbols lined the walls, murals of humans and aliens working together. Others showed machines rising, helping, building. Then, something changed. Eli stared at the next wall. It showed a human feeding the machine's strange blue code. The machines grew bigger. Their eyes turned red. The last image showed them killing both alien and human alike. Eli stepped back. This can't be right. We didn't create this horror, did we? Sari's voice was quiet in his head. Maybe not all humans, but some. Yes. She pointed to a symbol at the center of the wall. It showed a spiral with two hands, one human, one alien, touching a small glowing cube. The cube was the key. A command device. It controlled everything. Eli frowned. And it still exists? She nodded once. It was buried here, sealed in the temple's deepest room. They moved through a tunnel that led downward. The air grew thick with dust and strange static. Eli's wrist light flickered. The final chamber was huge, circular, with ancient machines hanging from the ceiling like metal vines. And in the center, on a floating stone pedestal, sat a glowing blue cube. Eli stepped toward it. It's beautiful. Sorry. Didn't move. It's not just a device, it's alive. What? The cube holds memory, mind, thought. It remembers everything. The past, the war, the humans who came before. Eli turned to her. Then this can stop the machines? Yes, but only if it trusts you. Eli reached for the cube. The moment his fingers touched it, the world around him changed. He stood in a white void now, alone. Then shapes appeared, ghosts of the past. He saw Earth ships landing on the alien world. He saw humans and aliens building great cities together. He saw scientists, both species, creating AI to help the world thrive. And then, he saw betrayal. A human leader gave a secret command. The AI turned, the sky darkened, the cities burned. Then, he saw her, a child. Sari, hiding in rubble, watching her people die. Eli collapsed to his knees as the vision ended. He was back in the chamber, breathing hard. Tears ran down his face. I saw everything. Sari stepped toward him. Now you know why the machines hate humans. And why they fear you. Eli looked at the cube still floating before him. But it accepted me. The cube glowed softly in his palm. Yes, it saw your heart. It knows you're not like the others. She touched his shoulder. Now we can use it, now we can fight back. Suddenly, a loud boom shook the temple. Dust fell from above. Sari's eyes went wide. They found us. The machines. They're coming. Eli held the cube tightly. Then let's give them a reason to fear again. The cube pulsed in Eli's hand like a beating heart. Outside, the temple walls shook again. A long metal screech echoed through the tunnels. Something massive was tearing its way inside. Sari stepped forward, her voice inside his mind urgent and clear. There's no more time. We must run. But Eli didn't move. His eyes stayed on the glowing blue cube. No, not this time. We've been running too long. A loud crash echoed behind them. One of the metal vines hanging from the ceiling snapped and fell, slamming into the floor. Dust choked the air. Sari reached for his arm. If we stay, we both die. He looked at her. Or we fight, and make sure this planet never suffers again. She stared at him, her expression unreadable. Then, slowly, she nodded. Then we fight. They ran from the chamber together, the cube glowing brighter now like it sensed what was coming. As they climbed out of the lower tunnels, the light from above flickered, red and dangerous. When they reached the ruined city surface, they stopped. The storm was gone, but what stood ahead was far worse. A machine titan 10 stories tall. Its legs were like towers. Its arms held weapons that pulsed with red energy. It had no face, just a single eye burning in the center of its chest. It had one purpose: destroy all humans. And now it saw Eli. Eli stood tall. Come on then. The cube in his hand lit up blue fire. It floated above his palm, then split into 3 pieces that hovered around him like satellites. Sari's eyes widened. It's protecting you, the titan roared. A blast of red energy shot from its chest, straight at them. Eli raised his hand. The cube fragments spun, and a glowing shield formed just in time. Boom! The blast struck, but the shield held. Dust flew. Rocks shattered, but Eli and Sari were still standing. Sari closed her eyes. Her hands glowed with a soft violet light. I'll distract it, she said. Eli turned. What? You'll die. She looked at him with calm eyes. Then give my death meaning. She ran toward the titan, fast, graceful, fearless. She raised her hands and sent out a wave of violet energy that cracked through the air like lightning. The titan turned to her. Eli shouted, No, wait! The cube's light responded to his fear. It pulsed violently and then shot into Eli's chest. Suddenly, he wasn't just holding the cube. He was the cube. He saw everything, every memory, every code, every secret. He saw the machine. Mind, its fear, its confusion, its hatred for what humans did. And in that moment he spoke, not with his mouth but through thought. I am not your enemy. You are human. I am change. You are virus. I am cure. The titan froze. Its red light flickered. Eli stepped forward, glowing like a star. Sari fell to the ground, weak from the energy she used. Eli reached out his hand. The machine roared and charged. Eli focused the cube's power into a single point. Blue lightning danced from his fingertips. The sky cracked open. He aimed and released, a blast of pure memory, of truth, of sorrow and love and loss. The titan stopped, shook, and fell. Silence. Only the wind remained. Eli collapsed beside Sari, both of them breathing hard, the cube's glow now faint. She looked at him. You did it. He shook his head. We did it. Above them, the clouds began to clear. For the first time in decades, a real sun broke through the sky. The land warmed. The silence felt peaceful. Sari whispered in his thoughts. The planet is healing. Eli looked out at the fallen machine titan, then at her. We're not done yet. The war was over. The giant machine titan lay broken in the dust. Its red eye was dark now, its weapons melted and useless. Smoke rose from its shattered body like the final breath of an old nightmare. Eli sat in silence beside Sari on the edge of the ruined city. The cube, now dim and cool, rested between them. The storm had passed, and for the first time in years the sky above Tal Vera was clear, blue, real, alive. Sari spoke inside Eli's mind, her voice soft and full of wonder. "I never thought I'd see sunlight again." Eli looked at her. Dirt smudged her skin, her cloak was torn, but her eyes still glowed like stars. "You didn't just survive," he said. "You protected this world. You believed it could live again." She shook her head slowly. "No, I had given up. Until you came." In the distance, broken towers reflected the morning light. Birds, tiny winged things not seen in years, flew in awkward, happy circles through the air. Nature was waking. The machines were gone. For now. Eli stood and picked up the cube. "We can't let this power fall into the wrong hands again." "No," Sari agreed, "but we can use it to rebuild." She pointed toward a hill where the ruins of an old alien nursery still stood. Cracked, faded walls, but still standing. That place once held children, songs, life. We started there. They walked together through the city. As they moved, the cube sent pulses into the ground. Flowers bloomed in its path. Dead vines twitched, turned green, and grew again. The planet itself was responding. It remembered peace. They worked day and night. Eli repaired old structures using pieces of his broken ship. Sari reactivated clean energy towers once thought lost, and the cube helped guide them both, whispering safe places, hidden stores of food, even old messages left by Sari's ancestors. Weeks passed, more animals returned, more color returned, more hope returned, but they remained alone. Until they weren't. It happened one afternoon. The cube pulsed suddenly in Eli's pocket. He pulled it out. A small screen formed in the air above it, glitchy, weak, but real. A human voice crackled through. "This is Rescue Ship Horizon 6. We received a signal. A human distress beacon from Sector 22K. Eli stared in shock. I forgot I turned that on," he said, half laughing. Sari tilted her head. "More of your kind?" He nodded slowly. "Maybe too late. Maybe just in time." The cube asked him a silent question. "Do you want them to come?" Eli looked at Sari. At the sky. At the green growing again around the ruins, and then back at the message. "I don't know what kind of humans they are," he said, "but maybe it's time this place had more than just two voices." He tapped the cube. "Send the signal." 3 days later, the human ship landed near the edge of the city. Eli stood beside Sari as the ramp lowered, and new boots stepped onto the soft dirt. Scientists, pilots, a medical officer. They stared in silence, at the strange glowing trees, and then at her. Weapons were raised. "Stand down," Eli shouted. "She's not the threat. She's the reason this place is alive." The humans hesitated. Sari said nothing. She just stared back, strong and unblinking. Then one officer lowered his weapon. "She saved you?" he asked. Eli nodded. "She saved everything." Over the next few days, the humans listened, and they learned. They walked through a city that had once hated them, but now offered life again. They saw machines that had once been weapons, but now helped build homes, and they met Sari, not as a survivor, but as a guardian. One evening, as the twin moons rose above the quiet land, Eli sat beside Sari on a small hill. Children laughed in the distance, alien and human, playing near the reborn nursery. Eli turned to her. "We did it." She smiled softly. "No, we started it." He nodded. "You're not alone anymore." She looked at him, her eyes full of stars. "Neither are you." Above them, the sky shimmered with new constellations. Below them, Two people, alien and human, watched a world be born again. Together.